And we are live, I think. I've never used YouTube live stream before. Just gotta quickly post this onto the Twitter or Blue Sky. I'll give it some time. See if anybody pops up. Hello, Shop City. I can't see that emote very well. Is that like just a hello W? Marin Lychee, just the sound of them makes me queasy. Okay. I'm gonna give it some more time. Now what? Good question. Mostly just wanting to talk to people, kind of get the feeling of where everybody stands with me, I guess. The reason why I had comments closed down on the previous video was because my therapist said it'd probably be for the best to not have them up. But I also didn't want to just not have anybody have a place where they could voice their concerns or their comments or whatever. So I figured a stream would be a good compromise because people can talk to me like directly. Hello, Cornbread. Thank you for joining. I'm just giving time for people to pop in. I haven't really done or said anything much yet. What actually was the inciting incident? I always heard different things. It was drawing like fetish material and trading it with both adults and minors. That was the inciting incident. And what led to it coming out publicly, well, not coming out publicly, but it blowing up the way it did was somebody was concerned about it and brought it to the attention of somebody else. And then that was brought over to me. And then we discussed it from there. So not proud of it. As I explained in the video, it didn't come from a place of malice, but it came from a place of a misunderstanding appropriate boundaries and a lot of very traumatic things I would not like to get into detail about, but I did them, so I'm not proud of it, but that's what happened. What if I was only aware of your departure from Pizza Party? I just uploaded a video 40-ish minutes ago. You can, it's a 12-minute watch, so it's pretty brisk. You could put it on 1.5 times speed. I don't think I talk too fast in it, so if you want to watch it there, you can. But Pan jobbed. Pan didn't have anything to do with it. What was I going to say? Pan was relatively uninvolved in the whole thing. I think it moved too fast for him to even really know what was going on. I haven't really talked to him since. I heard something had happened recently, and I tried reaching out to him on Discord. He wouldn't accept. I saw that his social medias were open, so I just sent a message saying, hey, I hope everything's okay. But other than that, I haven't really talked to him since. Otherwise, yeah, he hasn't really had anything to do with it. Will this affect the Pizza Party podcast live action movie sequel? Unfortunately, I've been recast by Chris Pratt, which I didn't really agree to, but obviously my contract fell through. So yeah. Are you still in touch with the other PPV guys, or did you lose contact after all that stuff? It varies. If we're talking overall guests and stuff, like a lot of them have fucked off, which is totally understandable. I still talk to Jim a lot. He shared the posts and stuff. And I don't talk with Izzy as much, but it's not out of like, as far as I'm aware on my end, it's not out of any sort of malice or anything. It's just we're both busy. We did, Jim, Izzy, and I had a call a long while ago, and I was so nervous because I had no idea what they thought of me, and I mostly just sat there like a quivering mess playing Red Dead Redemption 2. So yeah, is kind of live. As far as I'm aware, he's still alive. I think he's doing something with I think he did a game with Supper. He programmed it. Those two have been going places, which I'm really happy for. But since a fair few people are here, I'll just say this stream is for discussing what happened. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, anything. I know I'm not like a big YouTuber or an internet e-celeb or whatever, but I know it's affected people. My only criticism, concern that I'll be voicing publicly is that shouldn't have this been a greater space between video release to give more time for the video to spread, more people to get looped in. Probably. I'm not super well versed in the YouTube game. Most of this was planned with my therapist, so there was not like a deep amount of coordination in regards to like what would be the most reach. It's not like I don't plan on streaming again. Excuse me. So I'll probably host another one of these later down the line. But also I figured it's like a Sunday afternoon. So I assume that people, most people don't have much going on, and this would be an opportune time to at least get like some kind of a, conversation started. It's been years since the incident happened. A lot has happened during that time. Did your therapist advise this, or was it your idea? Word, how long it's been. I'll try to answer everything in order. So it's a lot has happened during that time. I'm aware. I didn't really seek out any information regarding Pan or the podcast or anything since I left, but I have been kept in the loop. It's sad what happened to it. But I saw that Pan's pursuing Loki, which I think is great. I'm really happy for him. I know he's super passionate about that project. And then I know a lot of other stuff in the cartoon community happened, like drama and stuff. I see. Thank you for your response. You're welcome. That's what this is for. Have you played Cave Story? I've not played Cave Story. I don't know what genre Cave Story is. I've heard about it. Trying to think of something similar I've played, but most recent games I've played are like Death Stranding 2, Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah. Did your therapist advise this, or was it your idea? It was my idea. My therapist worked on it, and they helped me. They, whatever, helped me workshop it. We really focused on like why I wanted to do this, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing this for any negative reasons, or I was doing this in a way that would be healthy for me and everybody else, because I know sorry, I'm seeing these comments, and I'll get to them. I'm trying to focus on one at a time. But yeah, so my idea was to come back because I really reevaluated and reassessed, and I was like, okay, what did you like about doing the podcast? What are the things you didn't like? What went wrong? Will that happen again? And after talking with my therapist a lot, we came to the conclusion that I like making things and I like sharing those things with people. I like making people happy. I like starting conversations. I like discussing, arguing, and like arguing in a positive way, not like a heated argument way. I like talking about things and I like sharing ideas, and I think it's super important, especially in this day and age, to have more critical discussions. And it wasn't really about coming back to chase the glory, as it were, of the podcast days. Those days are long gone. They're not coming back, and obviously, I have a lot of work to do to rebuild trust with everybody. And I fully intend to work on that. So, yeah, I feel that I am also in a much healthier mindset. If you watch the video, I talked about how I went through a lot of trauma off the podcast that's bled into it. And it was also like a different time where things seemed more acceptable, and I just did not have the right mindset I shouldn't have been on. And that I regret immensely. So I'm definitely in a much healthier mindset. I understand boundaries and what's appropriate a lot more. And I know that sounds dumb considering the age I was when all this happened, but when you don't have the proper support and tools, like you'll believe stupid shit, and I believed in some really stupid shit, and I wish I had seeked help earlier and pursued it, but I didn't. So that one's on me for sure. Yeah, I began listening to the podcast when I first started when I was 14. Now I'm 26. All I'll say is time heals, keep safe, and think twice, and good luck, Nolan. I appreciate that. Thank you. The pilot got wonderful feedback at MomoCon this year. That's good. I'm happy to hear that. I really do miss MomoCon. I would like to go back, not necessarily to see anybody specifically, but they usually have great guests, and I have family down there, so I'd love to see them too. I just loved Atlanta. Atlanta was great. It's been forever since I've seen you online. Nice to see you're doing okay. I am doing, I don't know if okay is the operative word, but I am doing. I believe questioning each other's opinion is healthy. I agree too. Have you seen Superman 2025 yet? Yes, it is peak cinema. It is very good. I can't believe James Gunn said "fuck Israel" with his whole ass chest, and I'm so happy for it. I'm very much in the Free Palestine camp, so that movie was very cathartic to see. Go see Superman. Superman's really good. Was this all Dark Nolan's doing? I mean, I guess. Like if you're talking about like the dark parts of me, but no, that was all me. I made bad decisions. Have you been reading Loki IRL? I have not read Loki IRL. It's just too painful. I don't have any ill will towards Pan. I think I've mentioned that earlier in the stream, but for those here now, it's just hard to watch anything with Pan in it. I don't have any ill will towards him or anything. It's just like looking at like the past. It's just like when I see him, I think about the past 8 years of my life and how badly I fucked it up. So it's like constantly triggering yourself. So I can't do it. But I hope it's successful, and I hope he manages to achieve his goals, because he's a very hardworking guy and he definitely deserves it. Did you see the Sonic movie sequels? I did. I think 2's still my favorite. I'm one of the freaks that really liked the wedding scene. I thought 3 was good. I just felt like it got butchered in the edit, and that there's a much better movie sitting on the cutting room floor. Skipping ahead real quick, were you pleased to see Shadow on a motorbike? Yes, I was. I'm glad he also got a gun. I really wish it was just a Glock, though. I really wish that they weren't cowards and made it a sci-fi gun, but I get it. Mommies would be really upset. Do you still watch Ava, or have you dropped that? I've seen all of Ava. The original series is still a masterpiece, and it gets better with rewatches. The rebuilds are terrible. 3.0 plus 1.0 is garbage, and it's so bad. Holy shit. I've talked with my friend Michael about it a lot, and it's just kind of insane how much they dropped the ball with that movie. Thoughts on Sonic X Shadow Generations? It makes me hopeful for the future of Sonic. Frontiers was like a good blueprint. I think the gameplay loop was really, really solid, but it was obviously very unpolished and very, what's the term I'm looking for? Unrefined. And Generations was a step in the right direction. How old are you now? I am 30. The big 30. I turned it this year while I was in therapy. Funny story, actually, about that. I had my birthday. I had part of my big life plan thing that I talked about in the video was I'm going to plan out the next 5 years of my life, because the thing happened around 24, 25. I was like, by the time I'm 30, I'm going to be living up in the city. I'm going to be with my friends. Got to go for now. It's nice seeing you, Nolan. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. Then, what was it? I was going to have a big party celebrating my 30th with all my friends there. And it was going to be great. That didn't happen because, I wanted to kill myself really badly. And then I was like, my mom threw me a private party at my sister's place. And I just thought to myself, like, as the candles were lit in front of me, I was just like, my only wish is that life will get better. And I tried blowing out the candles. And it took more than 3 times to blow the fuckers out. And I was just like, I genuinely just, everybody was clapping and cheering around me. And I just stood there in disbelief, like, are you for fucking real? It's a core memory now. I think about that a lot. It just makes it feel like it's one big barking joke. But yeah, I'm 30. I found my old Nolan t-shirt. Haven't worn that in years. I implore you to burn that thing. If I see that shirt in real life, I might actually commit seppuku. Are you still pursuing an art and animation career? No, I am not, because apparently there isn't any to pursue. I feel terrible for all the friends I still have in animation. It's bad. I'm still doing art. I'm doing a fan comic right now. I've been writing scripts for it. It's something I'm really passionate about. I really waffled about doing an original project or something. And I was like, I've been wanting to do the fan comic thing for my whole life. So fuck it. The world's on fire. It's an apocalypse. So might as well just come back to the public eye, face the music, and draw fan fiction and make shitty videos for people. That was part of the reason I also wanted to come back, was just because everything's so fucked. Like, I don't care. I was watching the video, but what's your thoughts on AI art? I don't like AI overall. I think it's a fun novelty if you're just using it to like fuck around, like typing in stupid prompts and getting, funny shit posts or whatever out of it. The only problem though is that it steals. And normally, and for like shit posty stuff, that doesn't really matter because you're stealing shit anyway, making like memes and shit technically. But it's also got a huge like pollution footprint, so that's not okay, and that needs to be sorted out. It shouldn't be used in professional works unless it's like it's an AI model made in-house and trained specifically on that company's own stuff with the consent of the people of the material that's training it. there's just a lot of stuff. It's a new technology, and it needs a lot of regulation, and it needs a lot of refining before it could be, um, whatever. Has your opinion on Adventure Time changed, especially when regards to specials and Fiona and Cake? Adventure Time is a very sore subject for me because it was that was how I met my initial groomer, and so anytime I look at Adventure Time stuff, it's kind of like either I get nostalgic for it or I get like borderline PTSD attacks, which sounds extreme, but that's the truth because it sort of was the building blocks for everything that happened leading up to all this. So I do feel bad for how I talked about Adventure Time when I was younger. Shitting on Jesse Moynihan, especially, I feel guilty for. I still don't think any of his stuff is good, but I was a real fucking like Mr. Enter about it, and like just was really shitty to him and a lot of other people in Ian Jones Cordy. And I feel really bad about that, especially. I was a pompous animation student, and I thought I was self-aware enough to realize that, but I wasn't. And I just, I fucked up. I burned a lot of bridges because of how self-destructive I used to be. And I still kind of am, but I'm a lot better about it now, thanks to therapy and a fuck ton of SSRIs. Thoughts on Shin Godzilla? It is really fucking good. I use it when friends ask me for composition and shit. I tell them to watch Shin Godzilla and keep in mind where the eye is leading you. Got ya. Yeah, no, burn the shirt, please. Thank you. Well, fuck, I just graduated with an animation degree, so good luck to me, lol. Yeah. Definitely good luck, because right now, the industry is in a really bad spot. Maybe it's going to get better soon. I know I know video game industry argued SAG shit with AI. I don't know where the animation industry is in that regard right now. I know they were fighting a long time for it. I don't know how that wound up. I haven't seen any updates come across my feed. Also, sorry, my nose is itchy. I think this shirt is like really dusty, and I kind of have a light dust allergy. I guess the other thing I feel obligated to ask is, what is your plan for the stream after it's over? Do you plan on privating, unlisting it, or will you be leaving it publicly? I haven't thought about it yet. Maybe public for now and then unlist it later. I definitely plan on keeping the future video up publicly indefinitely. But this live stream, I feel like, is, I don't know. What are your current new obsessions? Delicious in Dungeon and Bluey have been poisoning my brain. Bandit and Senshi especially. I love those two characters with all my heart. Quite a bit. Are you going to upload more vids and art? That is the plan. Yes. I want to do some more artwork. I've been working on a fan comic. I haven't been drawing too much. Mostly been writing. I have taken on a couple of commissions and other stuff for people on other accounts. Read between the lines on that one. Is this the start of your locale career? I fucking hope not. I would like to think the pizza party stuff was my locale career, and now I am moving on to my master's in either being an internet stream or whatever. Hi, Nolan. Hello. Why is the stream square? I'm using my webcam, and my webcam is 4x3. All my old podcast stuff has died. I bought a snowball mic, a cheap snowball mic, because I'm broke as fuck right now after all the therapy and shit. So yeah, I don't plan on upgrading much anytime soon. Mostly because I wanted to see how all this panned out, because if everybody was like, fuck off, die, then I was like, okay, well, there's no audience who wants me. Fair. But yeah. I do appreciate everybody's temperament. I appreciate y'all not coming at me, regardless of what you think. Do you hate Twitter after all the bullshit that happened? Yes, I do. I still have one account up that I don't use. If I only have it, so if somebody sends me a Twitter link, I can look at it. Otherwise, it's just kind of there. Might shut it down sooner or later. Have you seen Anno's other work, Shin Ultraman and Shin Kamen Rider? I've seen them both, and Shin Ultraman was a lot of fun. Shin Kamen Rider, I don't know what the fuck was happening there. It was a very confusing movie, and I feel like it was made exclusively for Kamen Rider fans, which is weird because Ultraman and Godzilla were pretty accessible. Salon King, take care. Thank you. Sup, Nolan, re-upload your old videos right now. I want to see that old candy review. I am not proud of that candy review for a myriad of reasons, so that will stay locked. I'm sure maybe somebody has a copy of it. I don't know, but I don't stand by anything that I did in it. I was a dumb teenager when I made it, and made a lot of insensitive jokes that aged like milk, and also it's just embarrassing. So yeah, it's dead. I took it out back and put a nail gun in the back of its cranium. Also, Yellow, I when I was going through my channel, I saw that you commented that I added Pan on Discord like 11 days ago, and I'm just like, how the fuck did you know that? It's creepy. Hey Nolan, glad to see you back. Will you be posting from Blue Sky, or do you plan on making more videos? I'm going to post on Blue Sky, and then I'm going to also make videos. I don't have anything in the pipe right now because I wanted to see how all this would go before I did anything, because it felt insincere to make stuff. Like to me, I talked to my therapist about this, and I felt like, I'm making stuff and having it in the pipeline would make it feel like, I'm planning for a comeback when that wasn't my intent. This is mostly just like I wanted to clear the air and address everything and start the slate clean. So, and I know that's not entirely possible. I know there's a lot of drama and not drama, but a lot of genuine concerns, I should say. Drama's just portmanteau, but there's a lot of concerns, a lot of hurt people, and it's only appropriate that get addressed and talked about before I actually do anything. Hey Nolan, glad to see. Oh wait, no, I already answered that one. He said it. Yeah, I said it earlier in the stream. I added Pan because I heard something happened to him, and I was concerned because it sounded bad. And I'm not going to say what it is because it's not my thing to tell. But I just wanted to see if he was good. I wasn't really interested in anything else other than just checking in on him, but he didn't respond, which is fine. Do you wish that the podcast to be removed like your older videos? Also, do you keep in contact with the other cast members? I do. I'm not the podcast is like watching. It's like watching yourself destroy your life in real time, and it's just rough. And I also, again, I don't like the person that I was. Even back as far as before all this drama happened. And again, drama is just portmanteau. It's easier to say than like the long version. But yeah, so I would like the podcast to be deleted, but it's not my content. So up it stays, and I just got to live with that. Are you still friends with Spo? I am still very good friends with Spo. We talk a lot. I moved away, so we don't see each other IRL as much anymore. Can you say what you did was an open secret or not? It seemed like Bruce knew ahead of time. I don't even think it was secret, truth be told. I wasn't trying to hide anything. This is something that I feel like also needs to be addressed too, is that people think I was being like kind of deceitful or something, when in reality it's just like I was pretty open about it. It was a running joke on the podcast. It was what the fucking pill was. So like people knew. And I don't quite understand when people act like it was either a secret or like something, because People posted about it. People I traded with posted about it. It was out there. So I'm not even inclined to say it was at all open secret at the minimum. Like, it was just out there. And Bruce Snoop was somebody I did associate with, and I regret doing that, obviously, because of the age difference. You know, again, I did not know the appropriate social boundaries. And so, yeah. Is it all right if I ask what occurred with that Sonic movie podcast you were doing? It was my idea, and it just kind of fell apart because we didn't have anywhere to really put it. That was one reason. The other reasons were just my falling out with everybody on it. Nick stopped talking to me after the drama, and he was very amicable and mature about it. Salty was less so, and then Red even lesser so. Without going into any details or anything, they just kind of ghosted, and then yeah. So yeah, it was just it was mostly tied to my drama that it fell apart, and also just because it was a weird product that didn't have anywhere to go. So it was like those two things in tandem. Why do you got so much goddamn plush? I do have a lot of goddamn plush. They're mostly from all the years. I don't really buy them anymore. I did buy the life-sized Froakie and Rowlet because those are the only two Pokemon I really like. But yeah, have you played any cool games recently and looking forward to any? Death Stranding 2 is good. I like it so far. I just have not been in a gameplay mood lately. Metal Gear Solid 5 is what I've been playing too, and it's still goated. There were some odd jokes on the podcast for sure. There were a lot of odd jokes, and it surprises me that I'm kind of the focal point of that when there's a lot of other stuff that should have been addressed. And I'm not going to get into it, but that's all I'll say. I'll just say that it's weird that I am the only one who was scrutinized for it, and I don't blame anybody. I'm not saying that like in a vindictive way. I'm just saying there was other things, and it was weird. Did you have any say if the Robo Buddy stuff stayed up or not? No. Robo was going through their own crisis deleting stuff before we had a falling out. Red, yes, Red. Sorry, Red and I had the falling out. But yeah, sorry, I was reading chat. But yeah, no. So I think it was Red also distancing themselves from the content creation thing, but also it was like, bad optics. I wish they had handled it differently in regards to cutting me off, but whatever. Do you remember Mama's Boys? It seems to be mostly lost these days. I do remember Mama's Boys. Glad that one is lost. I love. I still talk to a supper. I'm open with Ken. We haven't really talked per se. I don't know if he's even aware of the situation or how he feels about me. So I'm not going to say anything further on that note. But Mama's Boys was like a miscommunicated idea. Yeah, so I'm glad that's gone. Let me see. Do you still have the Sonic hat I gave you at MomoCon back in 2019? Probably in my closet somewhere. I do. I still have all the Pizza Party memorabilia fans gave me. It's just locked in a box somewhere. Obviously, it's very difficult for me to dig through it for obvious reasons. Podcast was very much a product of its time. I still love and nostalgia for it. I don't. I liked being on it, and I liked the people I met, regardless of what they think of me now. But that podcast is now emblematic of an extremely painful dark time for me. So having that up and just viewable by anybody is like letting people see the worst parts of me. And I hate it. I think a lot of people talk about how Pan is, but since he's still public and making videos about the new stuff, kind of overtakes it. Yeah, that tracks, I guess. Content above all else. I sometimes wonder what the timeline would look like had I been a shittier person and tried to cover it up and just like pretend nothing was wrong and where we'd be now. I'm glad I, came clean and worked to become better, but I lost a lot. And I, karmically speaking, have paid for it in every conceivable way. So if you're worried about that, don't worry. Homeboy got punished. Bro, do you have any idea why Gables kind of crashed out at the end there, even accused Pan at one point, oddly enough? That's a very touchy subject, very private. All I'll say is that the podcast was not good for Gables, and I did not treat them very well. And yeah, so that wasn't great. And also the podcast did not treat them well too. Are you and Spo still cool? Yes, we are still very cool. Are you going to go to more cons and making vid or stream of it? Cons are really far off right now. I do visit MFF. It's a furry convention because a lot of my friends go there. So I swim through the musk of fursuits every year. I sometimes will go to a con just if there's a guest there I like. I went because Kari Walgreen and Ben Diskin were there. It was like Anime Midwest or something. Is Supper still online? You mentioned his game, but I haven't seen anything from him in years. He's still online. He does a comic called DJ Gray, which is really good. I recommend it. I've read that, and it's very fun. He's grown a lot as an artist. And DJ Gray is really good. It's about an alien fast food worker who crashes on Earth and finds love. And he has a very unique voice because I grew up knowing him, and I can read it. I can read it in his voice, and it's just really good. Highly recommend DJ Gray and buy his books. He sells them as like paperback, so they're not too expensive, and they're great reads. It could have been potentially swept under the rug, but bigger content creators get away with a lot worse. Yeah, that's true. That doesn't sit right with me, though, in regards to my stuff. I do think about that, though, if I'm being totally transparent with everybody, that, maybe I could have gotten away with it, but it wouldn't have been right, and it wouldn't have been fair to the people I did hurt. So, I'm glad I did it. It's worth noting that Gables is their dead name and they go by a different name. Oh, okay. Not trying to be transphobic. You couldn't have known. Gables or whatever they go by now. Hey, I can't stay. Just wanted to say I love you, man. Glad you're back and how you're handling it. Excited to see more stuff in the future. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Actually mature question mark. Is that echoing something I said about the what is it? What I said about coming out, because yeah, it's the mature decision. It's really, really difficult when you've done something really bad to look at yourself and say, I did something bad and I need to own up to it and I need to fix it. A lot of people can't do it, and I'm not trying to pat my own back here or anything, because in an ideal world I wouldn't have done it in the first place and I would have known better, but I didn't. So about getting away with it or coming forward. Yeah, I think I think about it sometimes. Again, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a perfect person. I think about, what if I had just been completely fucking evil? What if that did happen? And yeah, maybe I wouldn't go through as much turmoil right now, but eventually it would have come out. eventually it would have crashed, you know. And that's not the reason why it came out in the first place. Like I said with it, as I said in the video, the guy was talking to other content creators about me, and then it all came crashing down on me at once. Because at first my response was like, why is he doing this? Like, what's going on? And then it's just like, oh. And then it just kind of like snowballed from there, and I didn't have any time to process it. So I just came out and said what I said. And then after a week, I basically shut down, and I just made like a private account for browsing social media shit. But yeah, so I'm thankful that person, put fire to my ass so I actually could start improving. So you know who you are. Thanks. In spite of the intentions. Chat slowed down, so I don't have anything to respond to. What should I talk about? Going forward, would you prefer to avoid discussion about PPP ban being brought up? I prefer it, but I know the internet, and the internet's going to do whatever the fuck it wants. I'm sure a lot of people are going to try to intentionally trigger me and say shit. So if you have any questions, like, I don't mind answering them. Just keep in mind I'm not going to dish out any dirt, because largely there isn't any. The podcast itself was relatively drama-free. It was mostly my own bullshit. That was the issue. Like, there's nothing really interesting about behind-the-scenes pizza party stuff. Hi, Nolan. Do you mind reiterating and explaining what your action plan going forward is with your journey of healing? Hey, Schnookums. Love you, friend. Action plan going forward is working on understanding boundaries and working on understanding, reading people better. Obviously, I have a strict no interacting with minors rule. The most I do is like follow a couple of Sonic fan artists who draw way better than me, and it really pisses me the fuck off. Maybe at most leave a comment or something like that, but I don't really consider that a proper interaction. That's just, basic social media shit. So that one I have kept throughout the entire time. What else? Keeping my not safe for work stuff completely separate from everything, not including the fetishy content, unless it's in the appropriate place. So that's that. Otherwise, I think that covers most of it. I wish I had written it out beforehand, because I'm kind of stuttering over myself, but it's basically just no interaction with minors, keep the not safe for work, isolated, quarantined, be more respectful of people's boundaries and stuff. And yeah, in my fan comic, I do plan on having scenes that pertain to the aforementioned fetishy stuff, but it's not like for that, it's sort of just how the story rolled out. So that might show up. I just want to say that now, because I know because I've written it, and it's going to take a long time to get there. So I know people are going to bring it up, but I just want to say that just how the story rolled out. And I'm not going to compromise my creativity because a lot of people think lowly of me. They're going to think lowly of me regardless of what I do. So do you plan to keep this stream up? I guess, yeah. I don't know. Not forever, because it's mostly just a Q&A thing. And, I'm going to have other streams in the future while the video starts circulating to address other people. Right now, the response has been relatively positive so far, which is nice. I don't expect that to last too long. I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. But yeah. Any new favorite animated shows or movies you've seen post PPP? Oh, God, it's been 5 years. I liked live action One Piece a lot. I was pleasantly surprised by that. HBO's The Last of Us I'm a I'm a huge Last of Us fan now. Part 2 was fucking amazing, and I love it with all my heart. Delicious in Dungeon and Bluey are like the two biggest things that I have fallen in love with. Bluey is a really, really well-made show. It's very sweet. And then Delicious in Dungeon is like, it appeals to all my senses. Like, the character designs are like right up my alley. I love Senshi. He is my everything. He has rotted my brain. What else? I saw Mars Express. I like Mars Express a lot. My friend Dylan showed me that. What other shit have I fucking seen? Cuphead show was good. I think that was after I left. Hey, I remember seeing posts from social media on a while ago about you fostering dogs and thought it was cute. Do you still foster pets? I have 2 cats now. Millie was a cat I had who passed away, unfortunately, because of complications with her kidneys, I think. Right now I have a cat named Gunther, wherever he is. Where's my big boy? And a kitten named Lily, who I fostered, and I'm probably going to just adopt anyway. Let me see if I can find her. Guntar. Here he is. Hi, baby. The audience would like to see you. This is one big boy. Say hello, Guntar. Hi. Yeah, hello. Hi. Hi. Here. Hello. This is my baby boy. His name is Gunther. He is humongous. Say hi, baby. Say hi. Yeah, he is a big fella. He loves eating Lily's food. So I had to invest in RFID feeders so that he can't snipe her food. It was really expensive. So, yeah, right. You're a fat fuck, huh? You a sleepy boy. I'll hold you a little bit. It'll be good for the algorithm. That was a joke. Let me see. Yeah, I mostly assume because only extremely diehard people would be this on the ball with a stream this short notice, which would inherently mean the outturn would lean extremely positive. I would have thought the opposite because of like Kiwi Farms people and stuff, like people who still follow me in spite of not having been in the public eye for so long. And yes, those people do exist. I haven't paid attention to Kiwi Farms in forever, but I am aware that people still talk about me. I know these things. So yeah, way people were going to call you out. One person was he was gonna quote unquote create a case against me, and I was like thinking in the time, why was he doing that? And then yeah. Will you ever upload unprivate your old videos? Some of them are unlisted. The Rocket Power review is unlisted because I still like that one. I had a great time making it, even with the Vegemite throw up. Otherwise, no. I'm not proud of any of those videos. I don't like the subject matter. I would prefer they stay away. Gunther, yes. I can't be here long, but I will say I'm glad you're getting help. Oh, sorry. I'm glad you've gotten help and you're still working on yourself, hoping for only the best in the future. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Big fella, he is a fatty. Hi, Gunther. They say hi, Gunther. They say hello. You big sleepy baby. You big sleepy baby. Any future shows, movies that you are excited about? I was excited for Superman, but I've seen it now, and tickets are expensive, so I'm not going to be rewatching it for a long while. Wicked Part 2. That's Spose and I musical. Big fan. What else? I don't know. Metal Gear Delta. It looks okay. I Can't Be Here Long. I read that one. Is your old Christmas animation gone forever? I think that one's unlisted. I think it's not gone. I still have it. I loved working on that one too. Maybe I'll post a link somewhere for a couple of the old videos, but that one is that one's staying in. Oh yeah, My Adventures with Superman is really good. I like My Adventures with Superman and Harley Quinn. Those are good shows. Personal suggestion for future streams: you should probably make a small FAQ video. That way, even if the stream does end up getting privated, it can avoid repeated questions like this one has had. Oh, are you tired? You want to get down? Okay. Hi, Gunther. All right, Gunther's had enough. I don't mind the repeated questions. I'll probably I don't really know what kind of frequently asked questions there are other than the podcast stuff, but that's what future streams are for. Like I said, I'm going to do more streams in the future. I think the first few will be just talking to you guys and assessing where we're at and figuring out what I need to do to rebuild a sense of trust and, work on myself. And then later it's going to be variety streaming. I would like to do game streaming because I started doing that on the, I'm also allergic to cats, by the way. So now my nose is like on fucking fire. But I did gaming streams when I had control of the podcast Twitch, and I enjoyed doing that. And I also did an Alan Wake Let's Play with Red before things went tits up that I liked doing. So I'd love to do some gaming streams and talk to people playing video games. I've watched a lot of Pay Money Wubby, and I like what he does, where he does like little games or contests with viewers. Those sound fun. I'd like to do something like that. So basically, my content going forward is just variety content. I just want to make stuff that I like making, and if it resonates with people, great. If it doesn't, then whatever. I don't want like a super big like fan base or anything. That's not the goal. The goal is just to make stuff and have like a nice happy group of people who enjoy it. Superman was fantastic. Correct. Did you see Looney Tunes The Day the Earth Blew Up? I did, and I was not a fan. I did not like it very much. Great animation. I thought the jokes were very funny. I thought the story wasn't that great. Opinions on Adam Sandler. Drunk Punch Love is the best movie he's acted in. I don't have many strong opinions on him specifically. Recently, I saw The Benchwarmers with Spo, and no hyperbole, it's probably one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen, and that came out of Adam Sandler's label. So just for that, I hate him, and I hope he digs straight down in Minecraft into lava. You still gay? I'm still flagrantly fucking gay. Moved to Chicago, which is gay central for the most part. So, yeah. Nolan, super behind on the live stream since I had to do something, but just wanted to say what you did was the right choice, even if you're filled with a lot of grief and regret. I agree. I know what I did was the right choice. My thing is the grief and regret is mostly just it's not for making the choice, it's for the decisions that led up to that choice. Which I think is normal, for most people. Okay, I live next to Chicago. That doesn't really say much because there's so much shit. This Chicago's so fucking huge. I live outside of the loop quite a ways, and whenever I go to downtown pretty frequently, and I see that fucking beam, and I see King Fountain or Crown Fountain or whatever it is, where It has like the projections of the people, and they spit water at you, and I think that's so fucking rude. For people who do visit Chicago, take the Brown Line to Sedgwick or get to Old Town. There's a place called the Fudge Pot. There, they have some bomb-ass chocolate, and that's where the Three Musketeers apparently was invented and then sold to Mars for mass distribution. So I got to taste the original Three Musketeers, and that was fucking cool. I had a lot of cool things happen to me in Chicago. Lots of bucket list items that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I love it here. Expensive as fuck, but yeah. God, my nose. God, this is so itchy. Fuck me. Why does Homeboy adopt animals that he can't pet without, like, burning his face up? Should have gotten, like, a fucking goldfish or something. I am just checking to see if anybody has... Checking to see if anybody has said anything. Has your art rapidly improved while you're gone? No. My art has gotten better, but it hasn't rapidly improved because drawing has been very inconsistent. I did do a continuation of a fan comic from when I was a kid as a personal project to, like, kind of de-stress from the whole situation. And I was like 70 pages, and I realized I'm pretty good at compositing comics. So that was nice to learn. Are you scared of the backlash that might happen once folks see this video, especially those who are originally going to call you out? Oh, yeah. This is something I talked with my therapist a lot about, and we worked through it. I am expecting blowback. I'm not naive enough to think that apologizing and being nice is going to get me back in everybody's good graces, in some cases ever. So yeah, I fully expect people to come out and, you know, say you did X, Y, or Z, talk about this and that. But yeah, no, that's the price you have to pay when you fuck up that bad. So that's all you can do. Thoughts on Skibbity Toilet? Genuinely surprised it's gotten a movie adaptation by Michael Bay, of all people. I have no idea. I know there's a lore. I don't know much about Skibbity Toilet. All I know is that it got into Fortnite, and I got the backbling because I had to. And that it has some kind of weird lore with, like, camera people and, like, the apocalypse or something. So I'm curious to see how they're going to stretch that out into a hour-and-a-half, 2-hour movie and give it a dramatic structure. That movie isn't real. It was just, God damn it. I fell for fake news. Also, I'm going to wash my face real quick. Just splash some water on it. Oh, fuck. Ah, the dust. Is this the quality content you were hoping for? It's only going to get much, much worse. Sorry for the lack of serious questions. It's all right. I'm down to talk about anything y'all have questions about. Also, the kitten has come out. Let me see if I can... Yep, there she is. Bye, Lily. Hi, Lily. Hello, you little creature. And yes, I still have the Homer Simpson cut out. I will always have the Homer Simpson cut out. Can you speak on any of the Lost Pizza Party episodes, or is that lost in your memory? I remember the porn star one. It was really funny because her internet was so fucking dog shit and she had no idea how to like connect or anything. She was very tech illiterate. And then Pan crashed out super hard because he was really mad. That would have been a great episode, though. She was like dunking on him super hard. It was really funny. Other than that, I don't remember many other lost episodes. I think most of them got out. You have to refresh my memory a bit, and I could tell you. Robot Nolan walks out. Beep, boop, 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 bop. Am I missing lore? What is the porn star episode? What happened to podcast episode 69? That's what I'm talking about. The porn star episode was the 69th episode where Izzy had invited a friend of hers who was a porn star onto the show to talk and, discuss the industry and other things. She also dunked on Pan a lot, which I'm sure he enjoyed. And that episode got lost because her internet connection was so fucking terrible that, like, the latter half was unsalvageable, and then on top of that, I think Pan lost the footage or something, or he didn't record, so he crashed out super hard. That's what episode 69 was. Other than that, again, don't remember any lost episodes. I just remember that one because it was really funny at the time. Have you run into Doug Walker yet? Any current thoughts on Doug Walker and other reviewers, Ala Linkara and others? I've seen him at a Milwaukee convention that I go to every so often. A friend who used to live by me drove me past his fucking house. So I got to see Doug Walker's house, which is really creepy, but I didn't do anything, officer. But yeah, he lives like way, way further south from me. So like the chances of me running into him are like very, very slim. But as for the other reviewers like him, I hear he's gotten more critical, which is nice, but I think he's slowly dying out. And then Linkara, Atop the Fourth Wall is unironically one of my favorite movies of all time. I have seen it over 20 times, and that is not hyperbole. That sounds like such a shit show. Would have been hilarious. It was funny. It was really funny, and it sucks that it got lost. It was a good one. Opinion on the PPP reboots, if you even care, that is. Haven't seen them, obviously. I heard about them, and they did not sound great. But, I can't say. I didn't listen to them or anything, so... yeah, it's a shame that the ship kind of came down with me. I still feel bad about that. Which is better, Into the Spider-Verse or Across? I think Across. My friend dunks on it a lot, but I fucking love Across the Spider-Verse. I think it is peak cinema. That's actually insane. I don't know what you're referring to. That I drove, if it's the porn episode or driving past Doug's house. But yeah. And for the record, I don't know where he lives. I don't have his address or anything. Literally what happened was I was visiting my friends down there when they used to live there. And they were like, oh, we know where Doug Walker lives. And I was like, well, and they said, you want to see it? I'm like, oh. So they drove me past his house. It's a lot more creepy than it actually sounds. Literally, I just like just passed by, clapped like a seal, and then left it at that. I remember afterwards we got like spicy chicken nuggets at Wendy's, so that was really good. The Doug thing, yeah, okay, no, that's fair. I saw he had his blinds open, and I saw the red room he usually films in. It was like seeing a cryptid's cave. Doing the fucking what is that? One SNL character who shoves her hands in her armpits. So I get a body language specialist on me. Why is he sitting like this? What does it mean? The amount of times I've scratched my face, I wonder if any amateur body language specialists. A former member of the podcast had said on Reddit that for better or worse, Nolan was the glue that held the podcast together, so it makes sense that it played out the way it did. I am really curious to know who said that, if you remember. Will you let the Smurfs take over your channel one day? I don't get that. I don't. Was there a Smurfs joke that I'm not privy to, or is it about the new movie? I mean, I think Papa Smurf's kind of hot, but trying to be a bit vague to not be too invasive. I think Izzy said that quote. For better or worse, thanks, Izzy. That's fine. The fact that Doug has been able to put out content consistently for so long is admirable. It does look like you have a Smurfs plushie. I have all the blue plushies I have. There's a Sly one off screen. There's Homer, Chopper, multiple Froakies, and then Rotor. It's a fan plush somebody made. Bandit, and then Mugman is hanging upside down and slowly getting blood rushing to his head. But I don't know any Smurfs plushes. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll decide to binge the Smurfs and own merch. I do if I wish. If you wish, I could DM it to you, but I imagine saying public could be bad because I don't know if they even want to be associated with all that, publicly. Okay. Well, I mean, everybody kind of answered my question anyway, so. What I missed most of your vids is the Rocket Power Vegemite review. Was it a big deal covered in yeast for the review? Spell left a comment on it saying that I threw up afterwards, and that is true. The yeast, the Vegemite, I licked it for the video, and you can see in the video the palpable disgust on my face, which it was genuine. I literally threw up in the shower afterwards while washing it off. All my friends were like sitting in the living room, just like listening to me retch while I'm like washing the grime off. But yeah, Vegemite's fucking disgusting. Don't eat it. I remember my friend Elvis ate a spoonful of it for the ending of that review, and I miss him. I hope he's doing well. Miss that guy. Scrolling through Facebook for a second. Oh my god, the dinosaur hand puppets from McDonald's. Wow. We've been going for an hour. There's like averaging 25 people. That's nice. I wonder how the other video's doing. Let's check and see what the like to dislike ratio is and if people fucking hate me or not. That's been a like so far. That's surprising. The Rocket Power vid was the funniest. I loved that video. I still love that video. It was a great time. Do you have any social media we can follow you on? I will link my new Twitter. Well, not Twitter, Blue Sky. It's Nolan's Trash Zone. That's going to be my name going forward on most socials. So if you want to reach me there, you can. Or post or do whatever. I'm going to be posting artwork and stuff and memes and shit. And then I'm also going to be posting videos on here in the future. Like I said earlier, it's just going to be variety shit. I'm not looking to like make a career or anything out of it. It's a hobbyist thing. I do have like essays in mind, skits, stuff like that. They're going to be funny. The skits will be funny, I promise. And also food videos because I'm a big foodie ever since I moved to Chicago. I love food. In case you couldn't tell by my fat ass. Makes sense. Blue Sky's the new Twitter. Yeah, and it's good. Blue Sky is really, really good. I really like Blue Sky. I think I'm going to keep going for another 20 minutes because I think everybody's kind of winding down. Ever plans to do Chug a Nug challenge? Put 20 pieces of chicken nugs in milkshake and drink it in one go and burp. That's disgusting. I would throw up, guaranteed. So no, but thank you for the suggestion. I will promptly disregard it into the trash. I stream like refreshed, and I thought that was a new message. I was just gonna read the Chug a Nug thing again. How you get Hugbees on or other high-profile guests on Pizza Party? I didn't get Hugbees. Pan got him, so you would have to ask him. I just went up and asked people, and I was just like, "Hey, we do a podcast. Here's a couple of examples. Would you like to be on?" And usually they said yes. Wasn't hard. For the really, really high-profile ones like Ken Pontac, Pan obviously got them. So if you mean like internet celebrities, I would just ask. And with Pete Pan, I don't know, he probably just did the same thing. What else? Sorry, I'm shaking, by the way. My leg shakes whenever I sit down. Nothing good. Gunther. Hi. He's eating from his scooter. Hello. Pardon the mess. It's a bit cluttered. Any guests you regret either being on or inviting to PPP? Oh yeah, there's a few I definitely disagreed with. Digibro was one of them for sure. For obvious reasons, if anybody's followed Digibro and their descent into fucking madness. They also really hate me. I've learned that I live in their head rent free, and I think that's really funny. Mike Mozart, that podcast was literal torture. Quite literally. I wish I had just muted and like just done something else. Cause like he did not shut up. It was insane. Me and Izzy were like DMing each other like we were like being held hostage. The Mike Mozart podcast was fucking terrible. Good for people who like Mike Mozart. But yeah, no, that one was fucking miserable. Other than that, the usual suspects you could work out who, if they have drama or anything. What happened with Digibro? They came out as an actual child predator, to my knowledge. And then they spiraled into insanity or something. I don't know the details, but I just know that they fucking lost their marbles. Having said that, they probably look it up, see this, and I'm fucked, but whatever. I remember that my podcast LMO, I thought I was the only one annoyed. No, you weren't. Everybody fucking hated it. I don't think Pan did. I think Pan was fine with it. If it's somebody he likes, he's usually pretty patient. So, yeah. I had no idea he'd be that bad either. Like, holy fuck, he was like really fucking bad. Is there a recurring joke at PPP being conservative right wing, or is it really IRL? I have never heard that joke, but everybody on that podcast is pretty fucking liberal. Well, not liberal, but like left leaning. I've become very radicalized over the years. Maybe I started like centrist, like conservative leaning because I had just gotten out of my conservative household or was starting to. But over the years, I've gone like super, super left. Like I'm very, very socialist. Other than that, Jim is also very left. Izzy is obviously left. I don't know about Pan, but he never struck me as conservative in any way. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know, but I doubt he's like out and out conservative. What went wrong with the Zack Snyder verse? I don't know. I didn't really watch much of it. I watched Justice League, the Whedon cut, and I guess if I were to venture a guess, it was just executive meddling. They didn't have faith in him, and honestly, he's not that great of a director to begin with. He's a very visual first director, and he seems to think the extent of deep ideas is comparing Superman to Jesus, which, you know, is whatever. Very interesting, nuanced, original take, even back then. But yeah, having a relatively incompetent director in the creative chair and then constantly meddling with it to make it more like Marvel, but not quite like Marvel, and then waffling constantly because you want to make as much return on your investment as possible. Should take on Funko Pops besides the decent design ones. I don't have any strong feelings. I think Funko Pops suck. I owned a Steven Universe one because I remember his hair was shaped like a rose, which I thought was a cute detail. And I also own a Sly Cooper one because, you know, like that's the only merchandise Sly fans get. That one statue got canceled, so I'm fucked. Excited for new Harry Potter series, hoping it helps America move away from woke stuff and catch up with the Brit bonds. It's a cringe take, my man. I am not excited for Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling is a very deplorable human being who needs to get her head out of her ass and stop projecting her own troubles and traumas onto a oppressed group of people. The only time I'd ever engage with Harry Potter again is if Warner Brothers outright bought it off of her so that she wouldn't be making any money. The last thing I got was like Hogwarts Legacy, and I had a friend get that for me from a secondhand website. So, no, sent went to her. Get out of here, Discord notification. I can't see the chat. So yeah, fuck J.K. Rowling. Only the boldest, hottest takes in this house. Sad sniffle chicken shocky. I did not like Minecraft movie. Not even ironically, I thought it was boring as fuck. I did see the unfinished VFX version, so you think that would help, but no. God, that was fucking boring. Holy shit. What am I going to have for fucking dinner tonight? Do I even know? This is the part of the stream where my social battery is like depleted. Get the fuck out of my way, Discord. The unfinished version was more interesting to watch. Agreed. No one at the theater threw popcorn during my Minecraft movie theater showing, unfortunately. I'm debating whether or not that would make my viewing experience more positive or less. I was so bored. Me and my friends were watching it, and we were just like, "This is dog shit." It's like I think it was directed by the person who did Napoleon Dynamite, and a lot of their movies post Napoleon Dynamite have the same kind of cadence to them, except whereas Napoleon Dynamite was carried by like its cast. The rest of his movies, Jared Hess, I think his name is, are just boring as fuck. Correct, Jared Hess. Okay, yeah. Nobody was in the theater when I watched the Minecraft movie, just me and Jack Black. Oh, well, I hope you enjoyed your time with him. Most of my Jack Black experience lately has been Tenacious D and Evangelion mashups. There's this person who does Tenacious D x Evangelion mashups, and they're really fucking good. Like, the last one is insane. I've never seen a more well-edited, more cohesive mashup in my life. It lives in my head rent-free. It's so fucking good. I love that one. I think I learned from a Taxi video that Naturally was also by the Minecraft director who also stars Jack Black. Yeah. He also did Sasquatch Gang. I don't know what other movies he did besides the ones we mentioned previously, but I'm not impressed with his track record. Did he do Benchwarmers? No, he didn't. He didn't do Benchwarmers. Did he? No. I gotta look this up now. Benchwarmers. Did you guys know they made a second one? After we saw the movie, me and Spo were looking up clips, and there was a trailer for it, and the trailer wasn't even finished. It didn't even have the fucking title cards in it. They didn't care. It was insane. It was directed by Dennis Dugan. Okay. What has Dennis Dugan done? Oh, that's right. That's right. He did Happy Gilmore. So also, yeah, he's mostly done slop. Looks of it. Just a lot of slop. He directed 2 MASH episodes in Colombo. Huh. Do you still check Kiwi Farms? I do not give a shit about Kiwi Farms at all. I haven't checked that site since I was on the podcast. I don't even check any drama stuff at all, like in general, even outside of my circle. I don't like drama anymore. I think it's really sad that a lot of people spend so much time dedicated to like chronicling and like laughing at other people instead of just, doing something productive with their time. I mean, obviously I'm human, so there are some dramas that I just like I gravitate towards, but otherwise it's just like, yeah, it's not worth my time anymore. Were you zoned out with the day of SpongeBob Lost Media ordeal after you talked to the DVD artist? I don't remember. I remember feeling like I made a significant contribution to the search, because it is really interesting that the guy who did the DVD art had nothing to do with the actual production of the thing. It was a completely separate endeavor, apparently, and I was like, wow, I discovered something. That's so neat. I like feeling part of a bigger collective. I like contributing to a project. Did you ever listen to other animation podcasts like Talking Simpsons? No, I did not. Most of my podcast listening is true crime. Very rarely will I hop into like a comedy podcast or something. It's just not my thing. I usually listen to YouTube videos while working, or music. So that's usually my background noise. Nolan podcast. No. If all goes well and there are people willing to give me another shot, I have thought about asking Jim and Izzy if they would like to do something. I haven't mentioned anything to them yet, so I'm not dropping this like it's going to happen or anything, but I'd like to discuss it, see if they're interested. But don't ask them. Don't like pressure them or anything on my behalf. I probably shouldn't have said anything, but I was just talking out loud. God, I hate Sundays. Has anybody ever liked Sundays? Like, even when I have like time off, if it's like a 3-day weekend or something, or I don't work, I always hate Sundays. There's just a vibe about it. I remember Jim and Izzy were going to make their own podcast, according to her, on the Reddit after the pizza party drama happened. Yeah, I heard about that too. The problem is just timing and stuff like that. I just spend Sunday waiting for Monday. Me fucking too. Like I said, even if I don't have anything going on, Sundays are just like miserable. Like they have that aura, that Zaddy Riz aura, as the kids say. I actually don't know what Zaddy Riz even means. The minute I turned 30, I instantly became like boomer core. Like it was crazy how the transformation happened like almost overnight. Me stopped working, started making more dad jokes. It was crazy. Just what you turn into when you're, going into a different set of double digits. Being an adult, someone who have children, and not having someone whose job is to handle everything post recording, when there's no monetary benefit, it is very, very hard. Yeah. I think in our case, though, it's like scheduled hangout time, because it's like being doing something for the entertainment of others is also a decent incentive, because people like count on it, expect it, want it, etc. But it is mostly just scheduling. Like, I don't think monetary benefits are an issue for any of us personally. Being an adult and just having time to hang out is even hard enough. I know firsthand. Yeah, me too. It's difficult. I've been, ever since a lot of my friends moved away, I've been pretty lonely here. And my mom just tells me, "Oh, go make some new friends." And I'm just like, okay, but where? How do I do that? Mommy's voice too. No, 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 thank you. No thanks. Monetary as in it's okay to take the time out because it won't hurt me monetarily to be working is what I meant. Sorry for not clarifying. Yeah, no, I get that too. But even then, like I swallowed some cat hair. Fuck me. I don't know why I keep putting my hand behind my head. It's a weird thing I do. Also, sorry for scratching my nose so much. It is really, really dusty. Is there anything else anybody would like to discuss in the meantime? Do you still have the PP merch? I remember Izzy sold a lot of hers. Probably. I have the stand still. I don't know if I still have my shirt. I might. Or maybe I threw it out. I don't know. The diaper fetish episode is still an episode I go back and listen to its insanity. I kind of regret that episode, if not for the subject matter and stuff, but holy fuck, it was fun to record. That was a fucking fever dream episode. That one's one of my fun times. Best advice for being a Lost Media hobbyist archivist. It inspired me to run a FB Lost Media group with over 20K members, having watched Pan's Vid and Blemmin on Torre. I'm not a Lost Media guy. I do watch some videos, but like it's usually just for background noise. Like I find most Lost Media searches uninteresting. I feel like all of the interesting ones have been found and done with. I don't find anything too particularly compelling. Maybe that'll change. Maybe I'll find something eventually, but otherwise, yeah. There's like so much negative space up here because I'm leaning back in my chair. Is this what good cinema is? I'm like framed by the door. And there's lines coming to my head. At work from Chili's. Hi. Get back to work. Do you think Thurip Van Orman should do more stuff like another animated series? I haven't watched this stuff. I need to watch Flapjack. It came out around the time I was starting to hate on new cartoons, so I didn't watch it. But the clips I've seen of it are funny as fuck. And I know he did the Angry Birds movies, and those apparently were really well received. So I like the episode with Nearest Q a lot. He's great. I'm glad I brought him on. That was me. I'm taking credit. I'm going to be that guy. It was really funny because he had a voice changer on. And when we were off recording, it stopped working. And he goes like, oh shit. And like this really like nasally high-pitched voice. It was so funny. Oh man. Not trying to derail or anything, but I recently found out that guy is apparently a huge conservative bigot in the Sonic community. Learning about him from that episode and rediscovering him was odd. Oh yeah, no, I knew he was super, super controversial. That's why I brought him on. I thought it'd be funny, and it was correct. By the way, Nolan, whenever I hear content creators who reference you who don't know about you outside of the controversy, it's usually when they're surprised others aren't held to the same standard. I hear content creators who reference you who don't know about you outside of the controversy. It's usually when they're surprised others aren't held to the same standard. What? I think I'm stupid. What do you mean by that exactly? Like, they're surprised that other people aren't held to the same amount of scrutiny as I am, or and who's still talking about me? It's been fucking years. Like others don't get canceled for doing worse things. Oh, it's whatever. I try not to think about it because it's just like what I did was wrong, and I can't be focusing on people who have gotten away with worse because it's about my actions and what I'm doing. So, yeah, there you go. Drama channels. Yeah, figures. Oh man, if you're a drama channel and you make a video about me, like it must be a slow fucking news day for you. Like, goddamn. I don't think anyone has talked about the Nolan stuff lately. You'd be surprised. Maybe during the whole PPP reboot in last year. Yeah, that tracks. Was that last year? I thought it was way earlier because I know there was one where Jake Neutron and Daft Pina did it. But I thought that was like years and years ago. Also, did you say if there was Lost Pizza Party content, like the porn star episode where the one where Pan's audios broke? Yeah, I did talk about that one. That's the only one I remember. Measuring hypocrisy while you're still well, you still know what you did was wrong is a surefire way to never improve as a person. So if nothing else, I'm glad you aren't doing that. Yeah, no, you're right. I still do it in my head. Because it's kind of something you can't help when you think about it. Like, why was like you get into these thoughts circles of why was I the one who had to face all this responsibility, etc. Because I was a victim too. Like, and I'm not saying that to absolve myself of anything. Like, that's just the truth. Like, I was groomed in high school, and I didn't get my justice. So that was something that I brought up a lot in therapy and talked about. And my therapist kind of just talked with me about it, and the conclusion is just that you have to accept that you're the one being the bigger person here and like addressing these issues and working to improve yourself, whereas these other people are going to be stuck and continue to be shitty and not acknowledge these things, and you just kind of have to live with it. Like, there's nothing you can really do. Did you always organize the guests? Another one that sticks in my head is Gamer from Mars, but that just seemed because he was the most disinterested of anyone ever on it. I was against that. I think I was not a fan of having Gamer from Mars on, mostly because I just didn't want drama channels on the show. But it's always Pan's decision at the end of the day because it's his show. So I was like, okay, whatever, But yeah, there were a lot of guests who we brought on who were not a good fit for the show because obviously it was an animation podcast. And sometimes we brought people on just for clout. That was the second reboot. Last year was the third reboot of the Pizza Party. Oh my God, there was a third one. Holy shit. Oh, I think technically it wasn't a reboot, but it kind of was. Okay. There's a reboot, PP reboot with Peony that went nowhere, and then they announced another one after that fell apart, but it didn't happen. That's a bummer. I don't have much to say about that other than it's a bummer. To be fair, the Monkey Jones one got me to watch the podcast again after giving up on it, and he seems like a bad fit. Well, yeah, he was. I think I got him. I don't remember. Jerka being hard on E and JQ after everything. Yeah, I do. I mentioned this way earlier in the stream, but I was a very pompous, insufferable animation student at the time, and yeah. What's with the thumbnail of the stream? I didn't have anything. So I just did the icon for my Twitter or my Blue Sky. It's me as a capybara. It's my new Sona. I obviously don't want to use the Pizza Party Sona or any of my previous ones because I wish they were all dead. The third was when Izzy spoke up about it. All right, okay. I know Izzy spoke up at one point. I don't remember when or what it was about. Like I said, I tried to not look at any of the drama stuff just for my own mental health. It was also just not productive. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do like around to the 2-hour mark, unless everybody said their piece and has nothing to mention, then we can just cut it off here. But yeah, I guess 20-minute warning. Monkey was a bad fit, but at least he was funny. Did you bring Gamer from Mars? Just obviously wanted to leave from the start. You say that, but it makes me wonder, why did they even come on in the first place? You could just say no. How do you feel about the raising popularity of manga and anime over Western cartoons and comics? A lot of people seem to attribute it to it being like, the fact that it is anime and manga. What I think is what really resonates with people are the subject matter and the stories they're telling. because Western cartoons only occasionally dabble in more interesting, varied subject matters, and they usually fail because the studios have like no fucking faith in them. They don't advertise it or anything. Like Scavenger's Reign, I wasn't the super biggest fan of it. I liked it. I thought it was good, but I thought it was super niche and weird. Like it's really hard sci-fi in the sense that it's about like it's an exploration of an extremely alien world. And the story is about interacting with it and the crazy concepts that come from it, which isn't really my thing. Um, but you know, it just wasn't advertised, and I feel like it would have resonated with a lot of people had it been properly gotten the proper exposure. And I feel like it's meant to be like a self-fulfilling prophecy sort of thing. Like studios like get this, and then they like the person who approved it either doesn't work anymore or changes their mind, and they don't want to like set precedent or anything, so they just kind of bury it and like hope it dies. Do you still like pizza? I love pizza. Whenever I hear pan pizza, I do cringe a little bit because I'm like, oh shit, that fucking thing, or pizza party. Those phrases actually get under my skin a little bit. Shouldn't be saying that in public where people can weaponize that, but you know, whatever, it's fine. What else? The kitten's playing with a pipe cleaner. It's crazy. I buy them all these fucking toys, and they just play with fucking like cardboard and pipe cleaners. It's so dumb. I imagine it's the thing where the studios just don't know at all how to spin such a niche topic into wider audience appeal. Targeting niches doesn't sound appealing if that's the way to go. Yeah, that could be it too. Like, it's shocking how incompetent some uh, marketing people are because Transformers 1 apparently is really fucking good, but the trailer turned me off extremely hard, and that seems to be a problem with most Paramount shit. Their trailers are fucking terrible, and they make me want to put like needles into my eyes. There were two PPP revivals. The Jake and Daft one is about 3 years old, and the other one was about 2 years ago, but failed to come into existence, as you know. I know now. Like I said, anything I learned about the podcast after the fact was because people told me. I didn't like seek the information out, nor did I really ask. I asked like a couple times about like some things, but otherwise it was mostly just people telling me shit. At least Common Side Effects found its footing. Yeah. Not a fan of the character design. I don't like the faces, but glad it found an audience. I haven't watched it yet. If you have an art style I don't like it, it's really hard to get me on board. Badass Atron. Is that a line from Transformers 1? Was that from the trailers? Because the only trailer I remember is like Bumblebee or some Transformer running away, like comedically screaming like a girl or something, and it just looked like Baby's first Transformer movie. Yeah, those PPP revivals are a rabbit hole. Okay. Not surprised, but also just not like too terribly interested. I think Pan's partner is a drama channel and wanted the podcast to be more about that. Ooh. Yikes. What if I showed up on that? Like, I was a subject on that more specifically. Just like, oh man. Ugh. Because I know there are some people, I think, in Pan Circle who do talk about me still, from what I understand. Like I said, I don't seek this shit out. It usually just comes to me. So, what is that kitten fucking doing? I don't know about that. Also, former partner, Big Oof, as Sonic the Hedgehog would say. Wait, the second rebuttal was that, well, damn, I guess it really isn't coming out. Well, yeah, probably not. At this point, you should probably just stop making the pizza party thing happen and just do a new thing. If he, I don't know why I'm saying that like I'm some authority on it. It's just my 2 cents. Pizza party's just got baggage. No, partially my fault. Was canceled as quickly as it was announced. That's fucking brutal. I think his partner might have tried to get you on back then, but that whole podcast came to nothing. That's interesting. Probably wouldn't have taken the offer up had they done it. Well, they did that too, but then Pan realized that doing a podcast was too much work. They were egging on Izzy around the same time. Ugh. Jeez. That sounds really messy. Again, I'm not saying this to like do PR or whatever the fuck, but I really do hope the best for Pan and his future endeavors. The Jake and Daft one had some good moments. It was way more streamlined in short form, but I didn't keep up as much as I went to college. You coming back in 2025 was not on my bingo card. Sorry? You got to wear that pill shirt again. It makes you Nolan. No, the fuck it doesn't. I would rather drink cyanide. I think Pan doesn't want to do it if he has to do any editing or organizing, so it's done unless someone else wants to. Did you speak on Izzy? I was away again. No, didn't say anything about Izzy. I don't have anything like specifically to say on Izzy. Like, I like her. She's nice. Yeah, I watched the podcast reboot. Not great, but they didn't mention you nor Izzy. Though privately, they had something against Izzy, which sucks because she's amazing. Izzy is amazing. I love Izzy. To what Same said earlier, that was more to it than just that, but it was a huge rabbit hole. Okay, did you burn your own pill shirt? It's either buried deep in my closet somewhere or I threw it out. Also, the pill shirt being simplified porn is so cursed. Yeah, no, I regret it. It was very fucking cringe. I was just cringy throughout the whole fucking show. Like, again, if it were up to me, that whole podcast would be fucking gonzo. Jim was on the one episode and never came back after I learned about the issues with Izzy. Hey, Nolan, missed you, man. Hope you were doing good. Thank you. I'm doing okay. Hey, Nolan, what's up? It was funny. I miss when you escaped MomoCon from Jihad. I don't know what that means. Wait, when the hell did Monkey Jones and Pizza collaborate? It was a pizza party episode. He was a guest on it. I remember Jim saying the new podcast was fucked and he didn't like it. Damn. That takes a lot for Jim to say something like that. Jim's usually super fucking chill. DashCon. Oh yeah, that joke. Yeah. So did your art become super good? Nah, it's better. Wouldn't say it's super good. I hope to get better. Yeah, man, that is an old pizza party joke. Yeah, that's like up there with JFK style, I think. I remember that's like one of the oldest running jokes, and that was a Kenneth Thinks original. Kenneth had some bangers from time to time. He was funny. One of my favorite times was the Creech episode, and we brought him on. That was great. Is Ken still alive? He did some programming for a game that Supper made. It was based on the DJ Gray comic. Other than that, I haven't talked to Ken in a long while. I don't know if it's because of the drama or we just drifted apart. I don't have any ill will or anything towards him, in case anybody asks. But yeah. Ken does streams too. Well, that's good. are going to upload any old videos for the channel. I remember some of them being funny as hell. A couple are unlisted. I might post links to them. Otherwise, no. The Monster Truck episode is the official episode 69 now. Oh, cool. I think that worked out then. Bringing Ken back for episode 69 was very on brand for us. He still appears on streams. He's fine. Hell yeah. All right, we are approaching the 10-minute mark. Pan and Ken were on stream together at one point. Oh yeah. You think you'll end up doing your own podcast? Maybe. I don't know. Podcasting is weird for me, not just because of the pizza party stuff, but also I don't usually really like the format too much. I think there's too many podcasts, and just adding one to the deluge just feels kind of whatever. But earlier in the stream, I talked about wanting to do one with like Jim and Izzy again, if they were up for it. And again, don't ask them, don't bug them about it. I'm just speculating and like projecting, but I'd only do something like that if we just got to hang out, and it was just basically that. Because podcasts usually are just only good for parasocial simulators. Jim and Izzy want to do their own podcast, but scheduling never seemed to work. Yeah, heard that. Please upload that podcast you did with your friend. You talked about the super edgy racist one. I do not remember what you're talking about, actually. Sounds like something I would do. But yeah, I don't remember. I'm trying to rack my brain. Like, what could you be talking about? I don't know. The one Pan called you neo-Nazis over. I don't remember that one. No clue. Sorry. Yeah, I don't remember it at all. I'd be honest if I did, but genuinely, I cannot even think of what you're talking about. Did your arc why do you keep asking this question? This is like a bit. Are you a bot? Reading again. I dislike the Clarence episode because of the awkward rap jokes. Yeah, no, that was somebody in the background saying like, "Hey, you should say this. It'd be funny." I was like, "Okay." It wasn't funny. It was just embarrassing. I walked away twice when I asked it. Stop walking away then. Hello, Nolan. Most of this is the ballpark of 10 years ago. 10 to 7 is a long time to remember vague things you don't like thinking about. Correct. Were you in a podcast about the Sonic movie? I was in a podcast with Nick Tendo, Salty DK Dan, and Red Buddies about the Sonic movie. It was a podcast leading up to its premiere. Yeah, and that's lost media probably forever. Was most the same for other chat members. Okay. Especially when they are in stand-up ones. Okay, now that you were telling it all, what happened to the Game Grumps? I actually did ask somebody, and apparently the answer is just really fucking boring. It is basically what they were saying. I don't know. It wasn't someone egging you on to make those jokes. That's just how you remember it. It's said in the app. No, trust me. Somebody was like DMing me in the background, and then I made it. I'm not trying to launder the responsibility for it. That's just how it happened. I should have said no, but somebody did. Yeah. Would you ride the monster truck and ram over Cosmodor? I'm not interested in talking about Cosmodor. What would you like to see more from the live action Sonic movies a la Sonic 4? I don't know. I'm down for whatever they do. You should have a treacle tart. I don't know what that is. I don't think the jokes were really all that bad. They were bad. Like I said, I regret a lot of stuff that was said on Pizza Party. Thoughts on Ellis Mark and his wife? We're still good friends. I like them a lot. They're chill people. Just that era of YouTube was more edgy. Yeah, it's not an excuse though. You should still be held accountable for saying shitty things just because it was the style at the time. Do you think Western animation and comics will be outshined by how mainstream manga and anime are now? If they don't like do more interesting shit, then yeah. Because Western animation is in a very shitty place right now. It's very, very bad. And I think what it needs is like interesting projects with good advertising to get people excited. But they're not going to do that because animation doesn't make that much money. And they want to outsource as much as possible to AI, which is great. From other podcast members had said, seems that everyone regrets what they've said on the podcast to some extent. That's to be expected, but yeah. Trying to think of how to phrase this, but it's just like, is Lauren Fostel your god? She was like, never my god. Gooseworks over Vizzy Hop. I don't think they're very comparable. I haven't seen the Digital Circus. I saw a bit of Hazbin Hotel, and I didn't like the Amazon version that much. Very happy that both got off the ground, though. I think Hazbin Hotel is extremely important for indie animation, regardless of what I think of it. I'm glad it got so popular. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. I'm doing better. If you've seen the video, I talked a lot about what went on there. I'm happy the reception has been largely positive so far. I don't expect that to remain that way. I said it earlier, but I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop where people get more critical and, shit on me, which again, I get, but yeah. Got time for a couple more. The climate of the internet at the time didn't make things seem more okay. Not an excuse, obviously, those things were wrong then, wrong now, but it is context for why it happened. Yeah, no, you're right. But I definitely deserve to have, been called out, canceled. The surprise to me that Pan wasn't doing a bit with all his weeping. No, yeah, Pan was just like that. Nolan, did you answer the Jonathan Joss question? I think I remember you asked if what I thought on it, and it's very tragic. It's very tragic and very upsetting. I didn't really watch King of the Hill, and I didn't know the guy, but the circumstances of his death are fucking terrible, and it's very upsetting that people think it's okay, and that he deserved it. It just makes me sick. Thoughts on Smiling Friends? Very funny. I like it a lot. Happy that Psychic Pebbles finally got a cartoon because he's really funny. I have time for like a couple more, and then I'm gonna head out. If anybody wants to say their final piece or whatever. I feel like it's long enough ago that only big fans of Rebel Taxi really care anymore. Most people have forgotten. Even still, what I did was wrong, and it has to be acknowledged and addressed and worked through. And yeah. Thoughts on Dan to Dan? Haven't seen it. Every time somebody tells me and tries to sell me on it, it just sounds worse. What happened to Two Best Friends play? I don't know. How do you feel about all the CN revivals and spin-offs after Max and WB screwed up all their animation projects? Hurts the heart. Makes me sad that Cartoon Network is basically dead. It was a very formative piece for me as a child, and now it's fucking dead, and it makes me extremely sad. Pipe dream was to work there one day. Now it's just not going to happen. Even if it's never going to happen either way, given all the circumstances of my life. But even if somehow I did manage to work there, somehow it wouldn't be the same. It's just a shell of its former self. Mommy's Voice Revival. Ha 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 ha. No. Don't give up. I'm not interested in working in animation anyway. The more I learn about the creative industry, the more it just seems fucking miserable. It's more worse to take a go at hoping a very small percentage of people would even care. Even if it was true, living with that would be difficult. Yeah. Two best friends broke up, mainly Matt, Pat, Woolley, and Pat are still podcasting and all have their own stuff. Do you have a job? Yes, I have a job. I live here by myself. How else would I pay for it? But yeah, I think I'm about to wrap things up here. Thank you all for your time, and thank you for sitting here and chatting with me. I want to just say I really do appreciate you all taking the time to listen to me and hear me out. I know that it was a really heavy thing that happened, and I fucked up really bad, to put it as simply as possible. But I have put in the work. I put in the time to understand what I did wrong, why I did those things, and I'm gonna make sure it doesn't happen again. The last 2013 to now has been extremely rough for various reasons, and it's still not really letting up. But regardless, we forgive you. We all make mistakes. I appreciate that, but there's still a lot more work to do. I have a lot of trust to earn back. And I fully intend to work on that and, put in the effort to keep doing better. Like I said, progress isn't linear. I'm sure to say things and then, fuck up every now and again, but it's never going to be as bad as what happened before. But again, thank you all so much. I will see when I can stream next. It's probably going to be a week from now. I know I have family coming in to visit, so I'll have to find time if I want to do it exactly a week from now. But thank you all so much for your support and for your concerns and comments and what have you. I'm always, if you have anything else you want to talk about, my new Blue Skies Open, because I am genuinely concerned about the damage I did, and I would, if anybody was affected and is watching this, I'm more than happy to help do whatever it takes to help you heal and move past it. So rambling in circles at this point, but thank you all again so much. Keep an eye out on my socials. I'll be posting art from now on. I don't know when I'll get around to making videos. It is something I want to do, but I'm really busy, and my big passion right now is the fan comic. I've been working on a lot of scripts and storylines that I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be a fun time. And thanks to those who gave me a second chance. I really appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I hope you all have an excellent rest of your day, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks.